Welcome, I'm Rogers Anderson. As we travel around Williamson County today, we have the opportunity and really a pleasure to have a Vietnam veteran, Rick Krejsa. I do know how to pronounce his last name, but we are very honored to have you. First of all, tomorrow's Armed Forces Day, even though this tape is being shown a couple of weeks, the show's been taped and be shown a couple of weeks later, but tomorrow's Armed Forces Day. In a couple of weeks, we'll have Memorial Day, and
yes,
it's always good to have veterans. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours.
And let's find out a little bit about Rich. And one of the things you're doing is organizing a Vietnam Veteran of America chapter here in Williamson County. But that's our main purpose, to reach out to those veterans that served during a period of time. There was a lot of conflict.
Oh, yes.
So who are you, and how did you wind up in Williamson County?
That's a good question. You might realize from my accent I'm not from around here originally. It's born and raised in the Chicago area. Met my wife up there, and I was working for Tractor Supply Company, and their headquarters were in Chicago, and they decided to move their headquarters down to Nashville. And so in 1978, they moved my wife and I down here. And we decided that it's not a bad place. We'll give it one more year and see if we like it. And every year we keep renewing that. And so we've decided to stay. I mean, it's just amazing riding down the street and people wave at you. You don't know who they are, but you wave back. So we moved down here in '78, and I worked in IT for a couple different companies, Dana Corporation when they were here, and then Willis Caroon, Willis International Insurance, Reinsurance, and then I retired. Growing up, I've got two older sisters. My wife and I don't have any children. And my mom and dad were very involved in volunteering. My mom was with the Brownie Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and my dad with the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Explorer Scouts. And then I went through high school, and I graduated high school not knowing what I wanted to do.
Like most young men.
Yeah, and I went to college, and this was in 1965. And after a couple semesters there, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. And I said, well, if I drop out of school, I'm going to get drafted and go to Vietnam. So I don't want to do that, but I'm smarter than the military. I'm going to drop out of school and enlist. So I enlisted in the Air Force in 1966 and ended up going to tech school down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And then I was sent to the Philippines for a year and a half. And during that time, I was seeing the media, yes, we should be in Vietnam, no, we shouldn't be in Vietnam. And I'm going, I need to find out for myself. So after that time, I ended up volunteering to go. And I spent a year in Vietnam in Nha Trang, which was on the coast, and flew an unarmed EC-47 aircraft and doing military intelligence, gathering information and calling it into the ground. Got out, still didn't know what I wanted to be if I ever grew up. Met my wife, ended up in IT, and the rest, as they say, is history after we moved down here. And at that time, you did not want to tell people, well, I'm a Vietnam veteran. That was one of the least things you wanted to tell people. You kept it inside because of the atmosphere. And at that time, the mood of the country was hate the war and hate the warrior. And we were just doing our job. But thankfully, the pendulum has swung in the other direction now. We might hate the war, but we love the warrior.
Yeah. A lot of that has changed, like so many things. Time kind of heals a lot of the issues that went on in that period of an era. Like you, I was in Vietnam. I was stationed actually two places overseas, one in Africa, Libya, and then the other in Da Nang in Vietnam. So we have a lot of commonality. So about a month ago, give or take a few days, I heard of your organization, Vietnam Vets of America. I had heard of that organization prior, but here in Williamson County, we really didn't have a chapter. So you've taken it on yourself to kind of be the pilot of this Vietnam Veterans of America for Williamson County, the chapter, and you are asking men, women that served in a period of time that we're trying to get a chapter set up here in Williamson County to meet. Let's talk a little bit about that and your interest. You've explained you were a veteran of Vietnam, and so the meetings that I've been able to attend, you're getting up to 3 and 4 dozen men and women that are coming to this, and we're all the same look. We have gray hair, if we have hair.
And I'm growing this for a transplant just in case. But you're right, it is during a certain period of time. Now, Vietnam Veterans of America was formed in 1978, national organization. And right now, from what I understand, I think we have 27 chapters in the state of Tennessee. None in Williamson County, Murray County, this area. I am a life member of Vietnam Veterans of America. People are under the misunderstanding that you have to have been boots on the ground to join. No. If you served active duty between August of '64 and May of '75, you are eligible to join. And the main purpose is to help local veterans. They are a 501c19 organization, nonprofit. All the money that comes in goes to help local veterans. Nobody gets a salary. Maybe the president, I believe he does. But it's just to help people. And I have been amazed. I started working on this back in January. Someone asked me if I could attend a function and just see if there was anybody interested. And right now we have over 60 people that are interested in joining. And I'm amazed, and word is getting out. We aren't even a chapter yet. We are hoping at the end of June, the 23rd of June, Tennessee State Council of Vietnam Veterans is having their next meeting. And at that time, they will take a vote to see if they will approve having a chapter down here. I have been almost guaranteed that that will be a yes. Once that occurs, then it goes to national. Once it gets up to national, I was told about 3 weeks after that, we should get our charter and become an official chapter. So we're talking early July, around the 4th. That would be nice.
Rich, let's talk a little bit about, you explained the parameters, the years 64 through
75.
75. So you've got a 11-year window that you could have been in the military during that period of time. Not necessarily, as you said, boots on the ground. But if you're watching this show or you know someone, I joined the organization. There was, I think it was $50 for a lifetime membership.
Yes.
If that's a problem for some people, let us know. We'll work with you on that. And it's an organization that is just trying to get together to help other veterans in their needs, not necessarily just Vietnam veterans, veterans in general.
Exactly.
So we will, based on your conversation, officers have to be elected and presidents and vice president, all that, the traditional things, who puts the meetings on. So when are you going to meet and what time are you going to meet?
We have been looking for a permanent place to hold our meetings, and thank for your help. We will be meeting the second Monday of the month in the Williamson County Enrichment Center, which the address is on Everbright, I think.
Yes.
But actually,
most people would know that as the OBGA.
Okay.
The OBGA campus on Columbia Avenue.
It's right next to the public library.
That's exactly right.
But we will be holding our meetings the second Monday of the month from 6 to 7:30, and our next meeting is scheduled for June 10th. So anybody that might be interested, I might not have made it clear, but this is open. If you served anywhere in the world in the military during that time period, you are welcome to join. And love to have people come out, love to have people spread the word. If you happen to know somebody that might be interested, come on out.
I think it's important to note that the people that are watching this show, they'll know someone during that period of time, and it's just a good time for men and women to get together and to kind of reminisce about that period of time that was very important in their life. That was a period of time that we were all younger, that we could run through walls, we didn't have aches and pains. And we had it was a different time in our history here in the United States of America. It was a period of time that you have painted a very vivid picture that when you got discharged, you just kind of hurried and put on your civilian clothes and got back home.
Yes.
And got started in your way of life. That has changed. And we do encourage those people that have served during 64 and 75 to think about coming down. There's no money needed. If you want to join the Vietnam Veterans of America, which is a lifetime membership to help the organization, that's fine. But we're trying to get something going here, not just in Williamson County. We have people coming in from Murray County and surrounding area. Even some of them came down from Nashville, and they have a chapter.
Yes. I was a member of the chapter up in Gallatin, and that was fine. Once a month, I'd travel up there for the meetings. They had fundraisers up there. I'd go up and work some of those. But I got to realize that I live in Franklin. What's going on down here? And like I said, I'm amazed at all the people that are coming out that are showing interest, because they're basically been isolated from this down in this area, and it's not right.
So we will put on the TV screen your email.
Yes.
And there's a phone number we could use.
Yes.
All right. So we'll put that on the bottom of the scroller on the bottom here, and try to encourage people to reach out to you. Certainly you can reach out to the county mayor's office, and we'll get you more information. There's not a lot at this point because you're trying to form a chartership. So we got about 4 minutes left in our conversation this morning. I would take inventory that those men and women that have served in the military, and we have close to 10,000 here in Williamson County. Our population is about 230,000 people. We've got about 10,000 men and women that have served in some capacity. We still have a few World War II veterans all the way up through the current conflicts that are going on. If you're interested, you just want to come out, come on.
Please.
We'll probably have a few hot dogs and hamburger events throughout the year because you want to raise money to help other people in our community, and that's what it's all about. Simple.
Yes, and the $50 charge for lifetime membership, that's all the money we're going to ask for from you.
Yeah. Rest of it, well, and we think businesses and the activities we do will help to raise some of those funds, and it's all for a good, worthwhile. Thank you for doing that. I'm really amazed the time that I've been there, how much it's grown. So you're doing a great job doing some evangelizing, I call it. I haven't seen you pop a tent up yet. But
Not yet.
But I know you're involved in a lot of other things too, reunions
Yes.
For veterans.
I've been planning military reunions for my Air Force squadron for this is going to be our 10th one. And it just so happens it's going to be here in Franklin. So I'm excited about that, and I'm busy with that. But I've seen a lot of aha moments in the reunion planning, and I've seen someone who I served with over in Vietnam come in and feel like he wasn't part of the group. He's the only one that felt this way, and he didn't really want to get in there. And by the end of our reunion, he realized he was part of a bigger family.
Yes. On the 27th of May, and I'm not sure when this show will actually air, but we'll have a Memorial Day service, and there'll be close to 500 people, 400 to 500 people that are on the the 5-point square, that for about 45 or 50 minutes, it'll be a solemn period of our time to acknowledge and recognize those men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice. And we, of course, put bricks down. Rich, every year, I'm simply amazed at how that number continues to grow, not just in military men and women, but civilians that come out and just want to pay homage or say thank you for your period of service. The military mindset has changed over the last 25 years for you and I. I had the opportunity a couple of days ago to see about 50 plus men and women that are graduating from high school walk across the stage in a military service for them here in our high school. We've implemented that. Dr. Looney, being a veteran, did that. So I'm seeing it re-energize itself back into the high school, and these are young men. Some of those young men are going off to the service. Some of them are going to ROTC, and then a few of them are going to places like West Point and the Citadel. And so we're well represented and well positioned. Well, we're about out of time. Closing remarks.
I just want to encourage anybody that is a veteran, knows of a veteran in that time period, come on out. Come to one of our get-togethers. Ask questions.
Second Monday.
Second Monday of the month.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock to 7:30. And we might break up earlier until we have an official chapter. And then we're just going to have a lot of work to do to get things off the ground. And like I said, our main purpose is to help local veterans.
Let's make a success out of this. I'm Rogers Anderson. Thanks for being with us today. If you're a veteran, if you're in the military, second Monday, 6 o'clock
At Richmond Center.
Thank you. Have a good day.